All right, you're listening to On Deck, presented by Amazing Met Zone. I'm your boy, Phil from Shirley, with my boys, Drew Minotti and Johnny Hype Mancuso. What's up, boys?
Uh, what
What
up?
up? Hey, I want a little energy when I come in here. You guys just give me like, yo,
Let's go.
NBA playoffs about to start.
Yeah.
Yo, so pumped, bro. So pumped. I feel like over the last couple years, it's been like, let's get to the finals. Let's get to the Eastern Conference Finals. Let's get to the West Conference Finals. We know who it's going to be. Where now you look at that bracket and it's like, yo, there's some good matchups, man. Even these 2-7s, the 1-8s, the 3-6s, there it's tough across the board.
Yeah. That's nice,
Uh,
man. So, I mean, there's a lot of young players that are just evenly distributed to the league now.
100%. 100%. Starting off in the East, we'll start with the East. The Celtics playing the winner of the Heat Bulls game, right? No,
No, you're right.
Heat Bulls, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
And I think the Heat are just going to win that game. We all going to pick the Celtics, right? I think anybody is going to compete with them. The Heat have a much better chance, but I'm still going Celtics,
Yeah, 100%.
right?
Yeah. I mean, Butler's out for a little bit. I heard today he wants to throw hands with Oubre because of that 30 play.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, no Jimmy Butler. Even if they do beat the Bulls, which they should, I think Boston wins that series easily.
Without Jimmy Butler though versus the Bulls, that game can go either way. But like I said, in the end, we're all picking
Yeah.
everybody. It's just move on to the next game. That 4-5 right now, Cavs versus the Magic. I think this is one that we're gonna have some different picks. I like the Magic. Watching a lot of their games this year. That kid Pablo Ranchero, he's a stud. They got a good team around them. I love the Wagner boys. They play good basketball. I'm gonna take the Magic.
Yeah, I'm jumping on them too, man. I like Suggs. They had like a like an under the radar year. I feel like they took care of business.
Yep.
I think Donovan Mitchell is just
Kev.
a deciding factor. If
Yep.
he plays, I think the Cavs got it. If he doesn't, I think it's all Magic.
Perfect.
Yeah,
No,
I
I
mean
agree with
Evan
that.
Mobley when Evan Mobley came back too, that team changed big time. Like I mean, coming off an injury, he's so good, Evan Mobley.
Cleveland's a great team. I mean, they were right up there with the 2 seed in a sense. Like they could be, anywhere from 2 to 5, I think is like within a game or two. So, all these seeds could have dramatically changed. Bouncing off to the next one, Bucks Pacers, the 3-6. This for me is so big. If Giannis isn't there for these Bucks, they're in big trouble. I mean, I could see this series going 7 without Giannis. I know the Bucks, it'd be crazy if they lose, but at the same time, I'm taking Pacers without Giannis. I think that Pacers in 7, I could see this series being a devastator for them. What do you think, Drew?
I mean, I just start throwing my picks out first because I was going to say the Pacers too. I don't want to feel like I'm copying you, but I mean, if Giannis isn't in there, man, I was scared of the Pacers. I didn't want the Pacers first round with the Knicks. They just run. They run. I mean, their name is perfect for them. They set the pace
Mm-hmm.
and they just run. I know Halliburton's a little banged up, but still, he's so good.
No, he's a
What do you think,
stud.
hype? What are you thinking, hype?
I'm thinking that it's gonna be a close a close series either way. Especially if Giannis doesn't play, but I think the Bucks do pull it out because they still got Dame, they still got Middleton, they still got all these guys that are just ball players, man.
No, they do.
They're just
Yeah,
dog. I think it's gonna be close either way, but no, I think the Bucks pull it out.
I
Bouncing
think
over.
on a side note, I feel like the Bucks losing Drew Holiday was huge, man. I
Oh,
think
Yeah,
he's like that missing piece for Boston. I know KP is the man, but Drew Holiday's so good.
bouncing over to the last series, I think we all have the same picks. At the same time, I'm definitely a little nervous about this. Even though watching Embiid playing that 7-8 game the other night, he didn't look like Embiid. You know what I mean? And I think that Hartenstein's had some success versus him defensively. I feel like with Mitchell Robinson coming back looking pretty healthy, we could kind of hold him over in a sense. And I think it's just him and Maxi. You know what I mean? If OG can lock up Maxi and stuff, I think that I could see the Knicks winning the series in 5. I don't know if that's just me as like a fan, like hoping for the best, but I could also see it going 7 if Embiid looks good. There is some things in this series that favor Embiid. The fact that they do play their first 4 games in 9 days you're talking about a lot of off days in between these games, and I think that's perfect for Embiid.
Yeah, what do you think, hype?
Um, I don't know really. I think the Knicks are gonna win, but we obviously took the season series 3-1.
Hmm.
And I think that's huge, but I think we're just so much deeper than the 76ers, our bench. I think we just the way that they just move the ball and we still have Jalen Brunson. It's just I don't think Embiid can win them a series by himself with the team we have.
Yeah,
I think,
especially banged up.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's my Embiid banged up. If Embiid's 100%, we've seen him take over and dominate, and we know he can, but I just don't think he's 100%. And I agree with you, Johnny. I think our team is just, we got so much depth. But at the same time, the one thing that scares me with the Knicks going forward is that secondary scoring option. We really need DiVincenzo to be hot from the 3-point line. We
Yep.
need guys, we need like guys like Bogdanovich just coming in and giving us 15 off the bench because we can't rely on Brunson every night to drop 40. Teams are going to adjust to that, and they're really going to be double teamed. And we've seen that happen, especially later in the year, especially in crunch time too. And we're
Yep.
going to rely on one of these other guys to really step up.
And you know what? Really, we gotta not forget about OG. Since he's been a Nick, they're what were they 20-3 with him in
Yep.
the lineup?
Yep.
That's you can't numbers don't lie. Like he's a huge part of this team. He's huge at defense. I think he's gonna really mess up Embiid's game, and they gotta find another scoring option too, besides
No,
Maxey too.
no, I agree with
I
you. I
know.
mean, Tobias Harris, they still got some solid players, but
Yeah,
I know Platoon killed it the other night. But
yeah,
I just feel like I think this is our year in a sense of at least climbing through the first two rounds.
yes.
I think that now moving ahead, going in this Eastern Conference going forward, I think the Knicks can go somewhere. I want to. I don't want to put a limit on where they can go and just say, "Oh, I think they're going to make the Eastern Conference Finals." Because I think if this team's playing great and playing like they have been with OG, we could beat anybody.
Yes.
Yeah, I know Bogdanovich is dealing with a wrist injury right now. They talk about like an MRI the other day. So I'm worried about that. But I'm looking for Deuce McBride to step up. I know like once we traded, IQ and RJ, he's gotten more minutes, and I feel like that's what he needed because he's a shooter. So I mean, like you said, that secondary shooter could be him. But in the playoffs, it's so different. It's like it's such a different animal in the playoffs. So I am worried about that secondary shooter.
Before we give our Eastern like picks, who's coming out of the Eastern Conference, I'm going to bounce over to the West, and we'll go back and just give our finals predictions. I'd like to keep the Knicks out of our finals predictions because I think all realistic, we all want to put the Knicks in there, but at the same time, let's give it to somebody else. Um, Thunder, the 1 seed in the West. This Western Conference, to be honest, has been insane. This whole year with basketball, where like we were talking about earlier, who's gonna come out of the West? It's not just the old years where it was the Warriors or um
Warriors are done. That's crazy.
it's nuts. It's
Yeah.
nuts to think that. It really is. It's nuts. Um so the Thunder, I could see them moving on no matter who they're playing. I know it's Kings, Pelicans, but I actually really like the Thunder this year. I think they're a very good team, very good young team. So I'm going to take the Thunder in this first series, the 1-8.
Yeah, I mean, I can't go against the
Right.
Thunder. That's for sure. I feel like that's an easy
Realistically,
matchup.
let's give a pick on the 8 game. Kings Pelicans. I'll start it with saying I think the Kings are definitely going to win that. I just feel like they're too much. I like their team. I was surprised they lost that game the other night. I actually thought they were going to win. No, sorry, I'm talking about the Pelicans too. Thought the
Yeah.
Pelicans would beat the Lakers, but I got to pick the Kings. I like the Kings much better than the Pelicans.
Yeah, I think Zion's banged up too, so I don't think he's even playing. And the Kings last year, the Kings were like that team. They were like the Thunder of last year, not the number one seed, but still they were, they crushed it last year. So I think without Monk, they're a different team, but I think they handle business against the Pelicans.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I think the Kings I think they're going to dominate them, if you want me being honest with you. Like, De'Aaron Fox is a dog. Sabonis is a dog. They got
Yep.
good ball players on that team, man. They work well together.
100%. No Zion, man, they're in big trouble. All right, moving on to the 4-5 in the West. I think one of the best series for the playoffs. Honestly, the 4-5s usually are always really good, but the Clippers and Mavericks, man, that is a matchup right there of superstars,
Mhm.
uh, loaded on both teams. I like the way the Clippers started to come together in the middle of the year, late of the year. They've been playing very solid. It's hard to pick against the Mavs, man. It's hard to pick against Luca and Kyrie. They really both could just take over a series, but I got to go Clippers. This is another series I think is going to go 7 too.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good matchup. I'm going with the Mavs. Just I feel
Ooh,
like Luka Magic, you know. But
well,
it's like I feel like that can go either way. That might be one of those seven. You know, what are they 5 game sets or 7 game sets in the first
no,
round? Seven,
7,
right?
yeah, whole
Yeah,
way. Yep.
7. So I mean, oh yeah, it's right. I think they can go 7, and I guess if it's home field, you're right. Home court, you're right. Clippers will take it, but
Yeah,
I don't know, man. I just feel like Luca and Kyrie, they're playing so good.
no,
I,
100%.
I think the Clippers got this one. I think that they're just so much deeper and they got more experience. They're just I can't see. I mean, I can see Luca taking over, obviously, and beating
Mhm.
them, but not with Harden, Kawhi, and George. No, I can't. There's too much talent on that team.
All right, moving on to the 3-6. This is another one I think it's crazy. The Timberwolves as the 3 and the Suns as the 6.
Yeah.
Um, Looking at the odds, the Suns were heavy favorites, and the Suns dominated them all regular season. But I don't know what it is. I like this Timberwolves team, man. I think if Big Cat's healthy with Rudy Gobert, they got these big monsters up top. Connolly running the point. They're a solid team. I'm gonna go Timberwolves, man. I'm taking the Timberwolves with a shocker over the Suns, and I'm probably gonna throw a little money on this one too.
Yeah, I like Timberwolves. I mean, like you said, it's hard to go against the Suns. It's another. I mean, it's a 3-6 matchup, which is crazy.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, I like Minnesota all year. Nas Reed is the man. Like you said, if Cat's healthy and Rudy Gobert has been having a good season, I think they can take it. But it's not going to be easy, and it's just unfortunate because the Timberwolves had such a good season, and their first round matchup is against KD and Booker. Like I don't know, man. That's they drew the shortest straw. I feel like.
I'm forgetting Edwards too. I mean, Edwards having an MVP
Oh
season,
yeah,
another level. He's been taking over.
Yeah, I'm gonna
great,
have to
great
agree
fight.
with you guys with the Timberwolves. I just don't understand how this Suns team it's so stacked and they're a 6 seed. I think there's something going on there that they're not working well together over there. I don't know if it's the coaching. I don't know what it is, but that team should definitely be with that roster a top 3 seed in the
I
West.
think, I think with that team, it comes down to in the sense of like the seat. They don't really care about the season anymore in the NBA. A lot of these
Yeah,
teams they're just going through the motions to get to the playoffs. And I think the Suns record and being the 6 seed is a perfect example of that.
yeah,
Yeah, someone brought that up there on the radio that like Tibbs like puts too much pressure on the regular season, and none of his teams that have been like top seeded teams have ever really done anything because he like just lets it all out in the regular season. And like you said, it's a perfect example. The Suns, the Pacers, like there's these teams that got in. That's all you have to do is get in and get hot at the right time. So
yep.
Moving on to the last series, Nuggets Lakers. Lakers have had a lot of trouble with the Nuggets. This is a rematch, I believe, of last year's Western Conference Finals.
yep.
I think the Nuggets are just on another level. They're another product of that where they're going through the motions. They should be the 1 seed, but they're just going through the motions in the regular season, waiting for this time in the playoffs. They're the crazy favorites to come out of the West. At the same time, I could see a team upsetting them. I think this is the year that it's going to be so hard to predict who's coming out of that Western Conference. Um, so obviously I got to go Nuggets though in this first round.
Yeah, I'm going Nuggets. But like you said, man, this Western Conference is crazy. It's stacked 1 through 7. I mean, it's insane. It really is. I feel like a lot of these teams, if they were in the East, they'd be top seeded. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. Denver is definitely taking this one. Jokic is just a difference maker, and LeBron's not the old LeBron where he could just carry his team. So I think it's all Denver.
I was thinking about today. Imagine we drafted Michael Porter Jr.
Uh,
I was at that. I was at that draft, and everyone booed the shit out of Kevin Knox because
do
Uh,
they
you want
thought they
don't
thought
even
for
say that
sure.
in
the
this
Knicks?
chat.
What if I should have drafted? Like, if I could have drafted this guy, there's so many
I
guys that we
know.
can talk about.
We could do a whole
Um,
show on
a
that.
whole show on that
Yep.
alone.
Yep.
Given our finals picks right now and trying to keep the Knicks out of it in the East, I think it's really only one other team. It's the Celtics. I think with the Bucks not having Giannis, I don't really give them a shot. I think it's Celtics all the way. But this is my shocker in the West. I mean, I guess it's not too much of a shocker because they are the one seed. I think OKC, man, they're just very young and they're very good. People don't realize how good SGA is. He is a top 5 player in the NBA, hands down. When you watch this guy play, he takes over games, dominates scoring, passing the ball, rebounding the ball. He's a freak. And I just love how young they are. They don't, I can't see the moment getting to them. They just don't even care. They're all out there just balling. So I'm going to
Yeah.
go Thunder, Celtics as my final pick.
This West Coast, this West Conference, man, it's so hard. I think we all are in agreement that like any of these top 5 teams can make it, and wouldn't be surprised. Um, but I'm gonna go Nuggets. I'm gonna go Nuggets. As much as I love OKC, I feel
Yep.
like they're like inexperience is gonna show up in the playoffs. Um, I don't know. I in my gut I want to say OKC, but at the same time I just feel like the Nuggets just have that playoff experience and like just they're just on a different level, I think. And OKC will be there for years to come, but I don't know. I'm gonna go the Nuggets.
I think that's clear as day. They're the betting favorites. So I think with the
Yeah,
way NBA has been of late too, Celtics Nuggets is the finals that everyone's just going to think.
yeah.
What about you, Johnny?
See, I want to say Denver Celtics, but I think I want to switch it up a little bit. I think I want to make it a little interesting. I think the Clippers are going to make a little bit of a run, man. I really
I
do.
love it. I
Yeah,
love it.
I think that
I
they're
can
just
see
so
that.
experienced that they just play so good together. I can see them definitely getting hot and just going all the way and playing the Celtics.
No, 100%. You got guys like Harden and Paul George and Kawhi on the same team. I know Westbrook's there too, but he's not the same guy. Those 3 other guys still have the ability to take over a series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's your on deck picks. Um, I'm going Thunder Celtics. Drew's going Nuggets
So
Celtics,
yeah, Nuggets Celtics.
and then Johnny's going Clippers Celtics. So clear as day, Celtics. Hopefully the Knicks can take them out, and we'll be talking all day, guys. Thanks for listening. We're gonna have plenty more episodes. We'll be back.
Let's go.
Hey, shout out all everybody, everybody we love.
Including Jalen Brunson.
Yes.
It's him.